This is Dave Rogie here this afternoon. I'm with Coach Erik Romero of the boys and girls varsity track team. And Coach, you guys have been awfully busy the last couple of weeks and you've had lots going on. Tell us a little bit about what's happening with track and what's coming up.
First off, good morning. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, we have been pretty busy. We've had quite a few meets. We had actually 3 meets in one day on the 16th. We had a few kids go to, it's called the Nike Easton Invite over in Snohomish. We had 3 kids go down to Pasco, which is a really big meet. And then the rest of basically the bulk of our team went down to Kashmir and did really well there. A lot of great times, a lot of great opportunities as well. I think the biggest part was just we were able to get, we had the first time opportunity, as far as I know, that we've had 3 different meets in one day. I think the most we've ever done was 2, and that was kind of a stretch.
A little bit, a couple of the guys did some really remarkable things. I know Jose had a great day, had exceeded one of his goals for the year even in a single meet, and has since done that again, exceeded that even. So he's having a real stellar season. But tell us about, and I know that coaches don't like to single people out, but certainly tell us about some of the surprises that you've gotten so far.
One of those was actually this past Saturday. Dylan Novich, he ran the best time that he's ran all year, and then also in his PR he ran 11:3, I believe, and which is pretty fast. It's definitely a surprise for him. And then we have Sterling and Dylan again, who are throwing really well in our javelin. And then girls-wise, we have a really good relay team. We got 3rd behind, I think it was Kashmir and Quincy, down at the Quincy Invite this past Saturday. But we're trimming down our times. We're getting better. We did have a little bit of a rough week. We had a lot of kids down at that band trip down at Disneyland, which is a great opportunity for them. And then also we had some girls that went to FBLA State in Spokane, and they drove over that same morning to go to Quincy. So girls were a little tired, but we got through it. We were able to finish 4th, like 2 points or 3 points outside of finishing top 3 at the Quincy meet, and then our girls finished top 6, which is really great because I know we were missing a couple girls as well. But it's one of those things where you're just excited, and definitely our team is doing great, and we have a lot of individual surprises, but we'll try to focus on the team for sure.
A lot of the activities that are going on this spring, and of course there are just so many things.
Yeah.
Are most getting into that half or on the downhill side, if you will, of the league and of the competition before we look at postseason. What do you have coming up? And talk a little bit about postseason. I know a little bit because of my experiences in the past,
yeah.
But times do change, things do change. But talk a little bit about, just so people understand, much like golf or some of the other things where it becomes individualized at some point, where it becomes a qualification, not necessarily a team event. Talk a little bit about that, if you would, also.
Yeah, so we have one more big invite, and that's coming tomorrow, or 2 days actually. We go down to Bellevue Christian. We're going to go participate in their, I think it's their 8th annual BCS invite, big invite. We have a ton of, I think it's 1A, some smaller 2A schools, 2Bs and 1B schools from the west side. We're leaving at 5 o'clock in the morning, so don't be late, fellas and ladies. But no, it's a great opportunity. I've had the privilege of going. This will be my 3rd year going, and there's a lot of great memories. It's great because there's a lot of kids in our community that don't necessarily go over to the west side a lot. The fact that this is why I love sports, because we take so many kids there, football, basketball, and then even soccer tries to go over to the west side a lot. So for us, we're looking forward to that. One of my greatest memories there is Asa Schwartz and Jose Padilla winning, going 1st and 2nd in both the shot put and discus. And then our boys actually won the whole meet because we had so many kids out. And then our girls, I think, finished 2nd, and it was a close 2nd. We were down by 3 points, and that was the same year 3 years ago. And it's a lot of fun, and I hope that the kids make it on the bus, like I said. But afterwards, which is really great, we have a lot of kids that have never been to Bellevue Square, and we're going to take them to Bellevue Square, just kind of like a little reward trip as well. We got that on Saturday. The next week we go to Mason on their track on Tuesday, and then we have kind of like that younger meet as well on Friday, May 6th. And then from there, in about 2 weeks, we have our league meet, which is where we try to put everybody and try to give them 4 events and try to score as many points as we can for both the boys and girls, and then we compete against our own league. And then the week after that, which I think is Thursday, May 19th, is our district meet, and that's our qualifier meet, and that's where we try to really single everybody to the events that we believe that they have the best chance of either hitting the qualifying mark or winning outright. Because that's unfortunately that's how our league is built the last 2 years. Top person goes to state.
And that is because of the cut down to 4
Yep.
schools. So that
correct.
kind of really limits the opportunity. So they really have to produce at that point, don't they,
That's
and be
correct.
ready to go. What getting ready for these big meets, are there any things special that you and the other coaches try to do in working with the kids to kind of help maybe, I hate to use the word accelerate, but accelerate themselves, whether it be through throwing something, whether it be running something, whether it be jumping something? Are there particular things that you look for and then that you try to focus in on to help these kids excel at that point?
Yeah, one of those is actually all 5 of us do a really good job of collaborating together and saying, hey, we believe this kid is really good or could be really good at a triple jump. Let's try him out this week in practice, see what we got. We put in a lot of kids in different events, and like I keep telling you over and over again, we have so many kids to kind of pick and choose from that we have just about every single event covered, both the boys and girls. Also, just like in anything that you do, you put in, you get what you put out. So really, like we have a lot of kids that we sprint up the hills, we do stair works, we do bleacher work. We have a lot of kids that run against resistance with resistance bands. We have like our throwers throw with heavier disc or like smaller discs to work on speed. So we definitely incorporate a lot. We try to use our facilities to the best of our abilities, and then we also use whatever equipment we can use, because for us, we don't try to make excuses. We just try to find solutions some way that we can.
Sure. Coach, also one last thing I want to ask you before I let you get away. Do you guys, for the younger kids in the community, do you guys have anything coming up or anything you're thinking about that might be an opportunity for them to kind of have like a workout day or a learning day, or even some thoughts that would help them maybe as, let's say they're a 7th or an 8th grader that might be watching this and thinking, gee, I want to be a track athlete. I can run pretty fast. Is there something coming up that might help those kids or give them something to not only for you to identify with, but also for them to identify with the program and the kinds of things they would have to do to be a varsity athlete?
No, one thing that we're doing is like next week we have a middle school track meet that our high school team is going to run for community service. So we're actually going to be out there helping the kids, promoting the kids, trying to advocate for them and everything. We also have, unfortunately, we had our home meet, our home varsity meet before spring break started. So a lot of the middle school kids weren't necessarily out. But we're definitely going to work with our Mo kids, with the Mo building, to get a Mo field day. We helped that a lot last year, and there was a lot of track kids and athletes in general that just kind of trying to get the word out about sports in general, whether it be baseball, soccer, football, track. We're not necessarily trying to focus on track itself. As you know, we try to get 3-sport athletes as much as we can. So our biggest thing is we just try to give back to the community, whether it be at the middle school level, the elementary level, and that's what our Champs program is about. We have about 25 kids to go every Friday, and we're trying to incorporate Wednesday as well to get some more positive role models from the athletic side as well, and also to expose our kids in the community and say, like, hey, we have a lot of great kids out regardless of what sport you're in, and this is something that we're going to try to do each and every single year, and then also try to provide kind of like help out with our Mo Field Day coming up towards, I think it's sometime in June, and work with the PE teachers there.
Well, Coach, we want to certainly thank you. We are not done by any stretch,
Yep.
but we want to thank you for your generous time up to this point and your willingness to share. I would like to say one thing, which I think says a lot about the programs for this school and the varsity sports. You are a perfect example. Skip Boyd's another example. Joe Harris, all of you guys were high school athletes here at one time. You excelled in the sports here. You went on to college, and you came back, and you're giving what you learned and what you experienced back to these kids in a variety of ways. And I think that people need to understand and realize that they're, obviously listening to what you say. You're a well-rounded individual who lives in this community. People know you. That is what sports gave you. Part of that, besides what your family gave to you in growing up, sports gave you a lot of this as well. And as a result of that, here you are, and you're able to then pass that along and help to mentor and to help these other younger kids grow. And that's at any age. And so people need to take advantage of these opportunities when they're out there. And I just want to say that on your behalf and behalf of all of them. But I do want to thank you on behalf of the blog for being so generous with your time up to this point. And we hope that we're doing a good job of sharing the the athletics that are going on so that people can see what's going on besides the fact that there's a building here.
Yeah, that's
but there are real genuine people here giving genuine time and effort and of themselves. And I thank you so much for that, Coach.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
You bet. Dave Rogie here with the Chelan Sports Blog with Coach Erik Romero, track team. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Super duper.